Hi everyone, myself ANILKUMAR from SNJP SNS Trust CBSE School, Nirsushi. Welcome to you all, SATYAM TV channel. Here I am to teach you SST subject from Geography part. Today I am going to teach you Geography first lesson, Resources and Development. The first lesson of Geography part, Resources and Development. You know very well, as you know that you might have seen there are so many examples of resources surrounding us, nearby us: water, food, and river, hills, trees, buildings. These all are considered as resources. See, what I am going to teach you all. First of all, you have to tell me that what is the resources. You should know that first of all what is the meaning by resources. Resources, which things are satisfy human needs, are known as resources. I mean, each person, human beings need resources. Without resources we cannot live on the earth. Resources are most important things. See, nowadays if in daily everyday we use car, machines, electrical equipments, mobile, these all, TV and all, these all are considered as resources. So that resources are most important in our life. But what they will do all for resources, how can it will help to us? Resources will satisfy human needs. It is known as resources. See, here I have written on small diagram resources. Here I written resources, and here technologically accessible is there, and here culturally acceptable is there, here economically feasible is there. See, I am going to teach you that comprehensive definition of the resources. What is the meaning of incomprehensive definition? The resources. See, for example, before I told you that water. Yes, water is the essential for us, and without water we can't live on the earth. Water is the most important resource. Is it? Okay. Next, air. Air is also resource. See, we can't breathe. We can't breathe without air. Oxygen is the most important resource. Is it? Okay. Next, food. Yes, for our health we need food. Food is the most important resources. These all are basic examples of resources. These all are basic examples of resources. Is it? Okay. I am going to teach you comprehensive definition of resources from this lesson. See, come to the point. What is the resources? Here technologically accessible is there, and here culturally acceptable is there, here economically feasible is there. What is the technologically accessible? Okay, as you know that gold is a mineral, it is a resource, gold. Yes, usually women will put on the necks and earrings, rings and bangles, gold rings. These all are resources. How you will see that? How will you get that from the earth? This is the most important thing. See, to extract the gold from the ground, we need technology. Is it right? Yes, technology is the most important, because of without technology, without machines, and without these all equipments, electrical and electronic equipments, we cannot take out the minerals from the ground. Is it? So that technology is the essential thing for us. Yes. With the help of technology, what we will do? For example, gold I will take. For example, gold. Yes, gold is it is a resource. Okay. First, you will get gold. We directly not get gold from under the ground. First, we have to extract the gold from the ground with the help of machines. Is it? With the help of machines, we have to extract the gold from the ground. Then people should consider that gold as a resource. People means society. I mean society have to consider that gold as a resource, then only it is known as a resource. You take anything, iron ore, iron, metals, minerals, there are so many and number of examples are there, whichever we will get from the under the ground. Those resources are we directly will not get from, directly will not get it. So we need technological, technical, technology we need here. With the help of technology, we will extract the gold, minerals and other metallic minerals and all from the ground. Then only people should those resources as a resources. Those resources. Gold you take, metal. Iron ore you take, iron you take, and petroleum you take. You have to take. There are same number of examples are there. Is it right? Okay. I hope you understood this. Next, what is the culturally acceptable? See, what is the meaning of culturally acceptable? First I told you, with the help of machines, that gold will be extracted from the ground, and people should accept that gold is a resource. Yes, gold is a resource. Okay, then people when will accept that gold as a resource, then it is known as a culturally acceptable. Is it? Okay. In this line, again one more point is there, economically feasible. What is the meaning of economically feasible? See, I told you before, I have told you that technologically accessible. Yes, we need technology to extract the gold from the ground. Yes, it is known as a technologically accessible. Okay, now culturally acceptable, and with the help of technology, that gold will be extracted from the ground, and people or society consider that gold as a resource. There is a culturally acceptable. Is it? Now economically feasible. What is the economically feasible? Means when we will put capital. As per the economic subject, capital means what? What is the mean by capital? Is money. Yes. For everything we need money. Okay. To extract the gold, we have to put money. It is a long process is there, and a very difficult process is there. We need, costly machines and all to extract the gold. So that we will put money. Is it? To purchase the machines, to produce the machines in the industries, to extract the gold. There are so many machines we will use to extract the gold from the ground. So that we need first of all capital. Money. Is it? Okay. That money we will use for to extract the gold from the ground. But we need result also. No? Is it right? Okay, we need result. Okay, only we will extract the gold from the ground, and people will consider as a resource. They will put lot of money to extract the gold. Then what is the use of this? Is it? So that we need profit. We need result. Is it? So that technology, but we have appropriate technology to use that gold. But when we will use the capital or money to get that gold from the ground, that time we have to use the money. No, then with that we have to get result also. Similarly, we have to get result. Is it right? Then only it is known as a economically feasible. I hope you clearly understood all three points. This is only known as a comprehensive definition of resources. Once again, I will tell you that with the help of technology, we will extract the minerals from the ground, and people, society should consider that mineral as a resource, and whichever capital we will put to get that resource, that is called economically feasible. Totally, it is known as a resources. Okay, this is a comprehensive definition of resources. I hope you clearly understood. And come to this point here on in triangular shape on diagram is there. Here and triangular shape on diagram is there. What will tells you that? See, physical environment, institution, technology. Here, middle, human beings. Actually mean by human beings. Yes, human beings. Human need nature created resources. I told you water you take, food you take, air you take, minerals, metallic minerals, iron ore, gold. Okay, these all are nature created resources. Okay, here physical environment means what? Nature. Is it nature created environment? For example, forest is the best example of a physical environment. Is it right? Here what will happen? Human beings interact with physical environment with the help of technology, and he will establish the institution. Did you get my point? Here human beings interact with physical environment. For example, wood. You take wood. Okay. People, the person who will goes to the forest to get wood from the forest, that wood he will use as a fuel. Is it? That fuel he will use, and these there are so many examples. Human beings use, for example, come to the that before I told you gold example. Gold is the best example of this. This diagram. See here, human beings use gold, which is created by the nature. That gold, how he will use? He will use with technology. With the help of technology, he will use, and he will establish the industries. Institution means what here? Industries means rubber industry, and for example, gold industry, mineral industry, cement industry, okay, steel industry. These all are known as industries. Is it right? Okay. Here the mean by institution meaning is that industries which are established by the human beings with the help of technology. Is it right? I hope you clearly understood this point, because human beings, human needs n number of resources. There is no human is greedy. Every time he want resources. Okay. Sorry. Here. Because of this reason, what happening nowadays? There is no resources. There is resources are we are getting on the ground, under the ground, on the ground. But the usage of or utilization of resources is becoming increasing more because of human activities. Okay. I hope you clearly understood this. So that once I will tell you that, once again I will repeat it that what is the meaning of resources? With the help of technology, human beings extract the things from the ground, and people should consider that minerals as a resources, and once he will put capital to get that resources from the ground, then he want result also, he want profit also. Totally it is known as a resources. Is it right? Okay, means human beings interact with physical environment. Nature created things. He will interact with nature created water, air, and hills, hilly regions, deserts, plateaus. You take these all are considered as created by the physical environment. Created by the nature. Okay. He will interact with the nature with the help of technology, and also what he will do is that resources he will use for himself, for his purpose of for his routine life, and he will establish some institutions, factories and industries. For example, cement industry, steel industry, and these all are considered as resources. Okay, I hope you clearly understood this point. And next point I will teach you. Okay, look at the board, all of you, carefully. Okay, here resources are most essential for us all. Okay, now there are classification of resources. Classification of resources. Okay, see, I told you that basic examples of resources. There are n number of resources surrounding us, and we will observe every day. You might have seen surrounding. There are water, lakes, rivers, trees, forest. Okay, non-living things, living things. Okay, plants, and these all are considered as resources. Resources can be classified into 4 groups. One is on the basis of origin, and second one is on the basis of exhaustibility, and the third one is on the basis of ownership, and fourth one is on the basis of state of development. Okay, first of all, I will explain that what is the on the basis of origin and what is the on the basis of exhaustibility. Okay, here I have written on the basis of origin. Okay, in this on the basis of origin, resources again can be classified into 2 groups. One is the biotic, second one is the abiotic. Is it? What is the biotic? Say which things have life and which resources have life. Those resources considered as a biotic resources. For example, plants, animals. Okay, you might have seen that plants will grow. Plants can breathe. Animals can grow. Animals can breathe. Including including human beings also considered as a biotics. Which resources have life, which resources can breathe, and they can grow, they have a life. Those resources considered as a biotic resources. Okay. For example, plants and animals, fisheries, plants and animals, aquatic animals, okay, and small grasses and species, microorganisms. These all are considered as a biotic resources. Okay, in this line, second group, second point, abiotic resources. What is the meaning of abiotic resources? Say, air and water. Air can breathe. Can air grow? Water can grow. Water can breathe. It has a life. No life. Water, air, for example, non-living things. You take roads, plateaus, deserts, hilly regions. Are they have life? No. Okay, so that these are considered as a abiotic resources. Which resources do not have life, which resources cannot grow and cannot, they breathe, and those resources are known as abiotic resources. The best example is air and water. Yes, air is also resource, water is also resource, we are also resources, animals also resources, including plants also resources. But in this only divided, resources classified into groups. Okay, which are the non-living things and which are the living things, that we are going to study here. Okay, now come to the B, on the basis of exhaustibility. What is the mean by on the basis of exhaustibility? See, on the basis of exhaustibility, resources can be again classified into 2 groups. One is the renewable, another one is the non-renewable. Okay, what is the renewable and what is the non-renewable? Okay, since from 5th standard you are learning these all things, renewable resources, non-renewable resources. See, which resources can renew, again can reproduce, those resources are known as a renewable resources. Okay, these can renew again in the future. Okay, these resources can be again reproduced. These resources are known as a renewable resources. Is it right? For example, water. You may be asked one question, sir, how can that water become a renewable resource? Okay, I will tell you that. Okay, water, how will you get water? How would you get the water? Say from the rain. Is it right? Rain once will come on the land, then evaporation of air will goes into the sky, and it will form the condensation and it will form the clouds. Again with the help of cloud, again rain will come. It is only known as a renewable resources. it is in cyclic order, it will renew. I mean, it will reproduce itself by itself only. Those resources are known as a renewable resources. Is it right? I given an example of water. Water is rain will come again after on the ocean and seas, on the surface of seas, the evaporation of water will goes into the air and it will mix with the hydrogen, oxygen, and again it will make it will form the condensation and clouds. Again it will falls as a rain droplets. This is only known as a rain or water. It is only called renewable. I mean, meaning of renewable, okay, means renew. Okay, now non-renewable resources. What is the non-renewable resources? I told you here which things can renew or which things can reproduce by itself only in future or present is known as a renew. But in non-renew it cannot happen here, that like. Okay, here what will happen here? In non-renewable resources cannot be renew or reproduce itself. Those resources are known as a resources known as a non-renewable resources. For example, is a coal. You take petroleum. Okay, petroleum you take. Okay, fine. Petroleum and coal, these cannot renew by itself only. For example, you are taken going bike and you are riding the bike and you will put petrol in the tank, and again that petrol air and comes out in the air. Again it will make the condensation. Again it will again fill up the petrol tank. It is not like a water. Petrol, I am given just one small example. See, petroleum is a non-renewable resources. We cannot renew. I mean, petroleum cannot renew it because petroleum, coal, some minerals are there. Those minerals will take million years to form the resources. I mean, million years ago, these resources were formed. Okay, nowadays we are using those resources, but the problem is we are not using in proper manner these all resources. That is the problem. Once it gets over, no petrol and no coal, no nothing. So that for each and everything, see, to go into space we need petrol. To fly in the air, I mean in the aeroplane, we need petrol. Okay, for going wherever you go, for everything to generate the machines we need petrol. So that we have to use the petrol very carefully because it's the most important resources. Is it right? I hope you clearly understood these two points. Again I will repeat that once again. On the basis of origin, resources can be classified into two groups. One is the biotic, second one is the abiotic. Biotic examples are plants and animals. Abiotic examples are air and water. And second classification of resource is on the basis of exhaustibility, means renewable, means which resources can renew by itself or reproduce by itself are known as the renewable resources. And second one is the non-renewable resources, I mean which are cannot renew itself or cannot reproduce itself. Okay, those are known as a for example, coal, petroleum, these all are best examples of non-renewable resources. Okay, here solar system. Okay, solar energy, solar plates. Okay, much amount of heat we will get from the sun rays. With the help of sun rays, we can produce the power. Okay, we can generate the power. We have good in that. We have appropriate technology to use the solar energy, but we are not using in a proper manner. For everything we are using petroleum, which is a non-renewable is there. No, that only we are going to use more. Okay, this is the problem of society. Okay, we have to, whichever resources we have to take, wherever you found those resources, we should use it so carefully, because we need these resources for next future generation also. Because once resources gets over, we cannot get in future. Yes. Okay, for example, at home, you take one example. At home, what we will do usually, father we will earn the money and he will manage the family. What he will do, father, for example, your parents, they will keep money, they will keep capital in the banks. I mean, they will deposit money in the bank for what? For your purpose only, no? So that you think that why should we do this, like why can't we do this, like then resources also we have to use it very carefully, no, for our future generation, for our future children. Is it right? So that I hope you clearly understood this two points on the basis of origin and on the basis of exhaustibility. And third one is the on the basis of ownership. I will the third one is the on the basis of ownership. What is the on the basis of ownership? This I will teach you now. Okay, here on the basis of, it is a third category. It is on the basis of ownership. It is the third classification of resource. Okay, here see on the basis of on the basis of on the basis of ownership. Okay, what is the ownership? Owner. Okay, I have a property, I have a land, I have a car. Okay, I have so many things. Okay, I am the owner of that those all things. Okay, that is called ownership. Suppose you have one mobile. Okay, otherwise you have one textbook with you. Okay, then you have purchased that textbook from the shop. Okay, then who is the owner of that shop? Who is the owner of that textbook? You only. Is it? This is called ownership. For each category, for each resources, somebody are there. Someone or some people are owner of these communities. Some people are owner of that individually. Some people are. These ownership means what? These things are belongs to me. Okay, I belongs to those resources. Those resources are belongs to me. Those are mine. Is called as a ownership. Okay. Now, first one is a individual. First one is the individual ownership. Individual ownership. What is the individual ownership? Individually I will own the resources. Is known as a individually ownership. See, resources can be classified into a number of groups. Okay, again in that resources can be classified. Okay, I told you before, on the basis of origin, on the basis of exhaustibility, on the basis of ownership, on the basis of state of development. These all are 4 classifications of resources. But in this again subsections, subgroups. In the on this basis only again resources can be classified. Okay, on the basis of ownership, again resources can be classified into 4 groups. 4, those are individual resources and community resources, and third one is the national resources and international resources. First I will tell you about the individual ownership. Okay, what is the individual ownership? What is the individual? Individual means individually I will own the things. For example, I have a land. Okay, I have a property. I have a car. Okay, I have I have money. Okay, these all are individually I will own. Okay, you take property, land, car, bike, home, houses, building. These all are individually. That things are resources owned by the individually or each. Individually or a single person. Okay, that is known as a individual ownership. Okay, for example, house, car, property, land. These all are owned by the individually. So that these are known as a individually ownership. And second group, second one, community ownership. Okay, what is the community ownership? Okay, as per the discussion, I told you that before individually ownership, in individually we will own the resources, that is called individually ownership. And what is the community ownership? Community means group of people, I mean society. That society or that group will own that resources, would own those resources. Is it? That is known as a community ownership. Means community people can use it. I mean, for example, in my street there is a one park or garden. Okay, there is no any it is not prohibited, there is no any restriction to come for only you can come, other people should not come here, only you can go and others should not go. This is like any restrictions are there? Are there any indiscriminate or discrimination is there among people? No, there is no. You take park is the best example. You take temple, colony, this one street. Okay, street lights are there. Okay, only these street lights are only belongs to the only single person or individual. No, here community people have to use that or utilize that resources, because that resources are owned by the community people. Okay, owned by the group of people. That is only meaning of community ownership or resources. For example, park, temple. Okay, you can go to temple, no? In temple there is no that in temple the only single person, only one only can go in temple. There is no any restriction and all. Okay, everybody can go to the temple. These like community people can own the resources. That is known as a community ownership. Okay, is it right? Okay, here on the basis of ownership. Okay, before I told you that example of individual resources and community resources. What is the meaning of individual resources? Okay, already you know very well. I have told you that house, car and land, property, which resources can be owned by the individually, those are known as those resources are known as individual resources. Is it right? Now community resources, even I told you that community resources, what is the mean by community resources? See, park, temple, street lights. Okay, which resources can be owned by the community or group of people is known as a community resources. I mean, community people can own those resources. Okay, this is called community resources. Now come to the third one. Okay, national resources. Okay, individually also I can own the resources. That is the individually resources. Okay, I have a car. I told you I have a car. I can own it by it is the car that I will only own, so that I would own that car, so that I am the owner of that car. That is the individually. Okay, park, temple, these are people can use it, utilize it. These are a community. But national resources means what? What is the mean by national resources? That those resources are owned by the government or nation. Is it right? Are there the resources which are owned by the government or nation? Yes, are there. There are so many resources are there. For example, territory of a country. Okay, our nation is India. Okay, India is our country. Is it? See, India is also known as a national resources, because that whole nation, whole India, the part of southern part or northern part or eastern part or western part, you take whole nation is considered as a national resources, because that whole India is owned by the nation or by the government. It is that India is owned by the government, so that it is known as a national resources. For example, territory of country and railway. You might have seen railways, trains. Okay, train, it is run by railway department, is run by the government. Okay, railway department is there. Forest department you have to take. Is it forest department to take, railway department you have to take, and KSRTC bus, this is bus department, transportation department you have to take. Okay, some factories, industries, cement industry, steel industry, iron industry. Okay, some industries also owned by the government. These all are considered as a national resources. I mean, I mean these are owned by the nation, by the government, so that it is known as the territory of so that it is known as the national resources. Okay, fourth category of ownership. What is that? International resources. What is the international resources? Okay, step by step you have to think about yourself. See, first you, then community, I mean your village or town or city, then state, then nation, then international level, worldwide. Is it? For each and everything there everybody, everything, for everything there is a owner. Is it right? See, international resources. What is the international resources? See, ocean part and sea part. I told you that for example, this is the southern part of our India. Here Arabian Sea is there. Okay, here located, I mean here Bay of Bengal is there. Okay, here Indian Ocean is there. Indian Ocean. Okay, even from coastal line, 12 nautical mile. 12 nautical mile means what? It is a mile, it is a kilometer. 12 nautical from the coastal line, 12 nautical mile is considered as a national resources. Okay, border or northern part of the borders, such as Ladakh is there, Jammu and Kashmir, these are also considered as a national resources. Southern part of the Indian Ocean and Bay of Bengal and Indian Ocean, Arabian Sea, these are the also part of the belongs to the national resources. Also, even 200 nautical mile, I mean it is a kilometer, it is considered in a 200 kilometer from the coastal, 200 kilometer from the coastal lines, the part of the Arabian Sea, the part of the Indian Ocean, the part of the Bay of Bengal is known as a international resources. Is it right? See, ocean part, sea part. Okay, we will see usually. Maybe you have seen you might have seen the so many examples, and you will watch the TVs. No, in that TV, maybe you have seen that. This one, ocean, seas. Okay, did you see that ship and I mean it will go on the top, I mean on the ocean, on the sea, on the ocean. Okay, it will carry the heavy goods one country to another country. It will export the goods and import the goods. Okay, we need I mean yes, each nation and each country need resources. Okay, each other we are helping one another. We are importing goods and we are exporting goods, otherwise we are importing goods. Okay, each one another we are helping each other, so that the part of the ocean you take, the part of the mountains you have to take, these all are also, I mean these all are considered as a international resources. For a best example of see, it is also known as the exclusive economic zone. Exclusive economic zone. Yes, I told you that 200 nautical mile from coastal line towards the Arabian Ocean, Bay of Bengal Sea and Indian Ocean, from 200 kilometer, the part of this ocean or water body is there. No, this known as a exclusive economic zone. Means economically we will export and import will be taken place in these these areas. Okay, I mean we will export the goods through the ships and we will import the goods through the ships. These all activities, economic activities will be taken place in these areas, so that it is known as a economic I mean exclusive economic zone. Is it? This is also, I mean this is a international resources. Okay, I hope you clearly understood this four category. This one individually owned by the the resources can be owned by the individually, that is individual resources, car, I mean house and land, and community resources, and which resources are I mean owned by, I mean people can utilize it, people can use it, I mean each person, anybody can go and anybody can utilize it. Those resources are considered as a community resources. For example, temple you take, park you take, yes, you will also go no, along with your grandparents, along with your parents at 5 o'clock evening you will go along with your parents. Yes, okay, fine. I hope you understood this one. Next, national resources. Okay, this one national resources means that which are resources are owned by the government or run by the government or run by the nation, those are resources, national resources. For example, territory of country, I mean all states, and all sea, ocean part also, including international resources. International resources means what? What is the mean by international resources? And which part in the world, and which exclusive economic zone. I told you that 200 nautical mile from the coastal lines is there, no, in the water body, that is also considered as a international resources. Okay, ocean part, sea part, these are examples of international resources. I hope you clearly understood these all 4 points. In as per the previous discussion, we have studied about we have learnt about the classification of on the basis of ownership. I told you that first one was the ownership, individually ownership. Second one is the community ownership, and third one is the national ownership, and fourth one is this one, international ownership. Okay, in that on the basis of ownership, resources can classified into 4 groups. Those all are we have learnt in the previous. Okay, now this one, now on the basis of status of development, it is the 4th category of resources. It is the 4th classification of resource. First I told you that on the basis of origin, second one on the basis of exhaustibility, third one is on the basis of ownership. Now it is the 4th one is the on the basis of status of development. Is it right? I mean resources, how much resources have been developed on the earth, how much resources have been developed, and how these are developed, where we have found these all resources. These all are we will discuss in 4 groups. Okay, again on the basis of status of development, resources can be classified into 4 resources. One is the potential, second one is the developed, third one is the stock, fourth one is the reserve. Okay, these all are resources: potential resources, developed resources, stock resources, reserve resources. Is it right? Okay, I have written here 4 criteria. First one is the availability of technology and willingness to use. Third one is the are we able to utilize it? I mean, are we able to utilize that resource? Okay, fourth one is the example. Okay, we will study these 4 resources with the help of 4 criteria. I mean how these are resources we are utilizing it in our life, whether we are using or not. Okay, this all. Okay, first one is the potential resources. Okay, what is the potential resources? For example, we have a proper technology to utilize the potential resources. Okay, we have proper technology, we are good in a technology. Okay, yes, right, I already have ticked here right mark, means technology is there to utilize the potential resources. Is there technology? Yeah, is there, I have ticked here. Second one, willingness to use. Willingness to use means are we willing to utilize that resource? Are we ready to use that? Yeah, we are ready to use that resource, we are willing to use that. Okay, I have ticked here. Okay, we are ready to use it also. Now, are we able to utilize it? Are we able to utilize it? No. See, I have crossed here. Why we are not able to utilize this potential resources? See, we have a proper technology with us to utilize, to extract that resource from the ground or from on the earth, or I mean we have a proper technology to use it, but even also we are willing to use it. Okay, we have capable to use it. Willing to use it means we are capable to use it. But here what happened? Are we able to utilize it? No, but we are not using it properly. Example is a solar. See, much amount of heat or solar, I mean the sun rays, we will get it from the sun. Much amount of heat we will get it from the sun. We have more, we can produce the power, we can generate the electricity. But what happening here, we have good in technology also, we are willing to use it also, and also we are ready to capable to use it, but we are not failure in use because of our laziness. We are not laziness means what? We are not able to utilize it in proper manner. Is it? Best example is the solar. wind energy, solar energy. These all are examples of potential resources. I hope you understood this potential resources. It is the solar is the example of a potential resources. Okay, as per this 4 category, how it will these 4 category, these will apply for the developed resources, we will learn. Okay, second one is the developed resources. See, you don't get confused here, because there are 4 main classifications on the basis of origin, on the basis of exhaustibility, on the basis of ownership, and on the basis of status of development. I am going to teach you, I am teaching you that on the basis of status of development, again again resources can be classified. That I am going to teach you. Okay, don't get confused here. Okay, here second one is a developed resource. What is the developed resource? Availability of technology is there for developed resource. Developed means we are well developed. Well developed, and it is we are good in that, because we have a good technology to use that appropriate. We have appropriate technology to utilize that resource. For example, developed resources. Do we have this one technology to extract that resources from the ground? Yeah, we have. I have ticked here. Okay, we have. Okay, fine. Willingness to use. Are we willing to use it? Okay, yeah, we are willing to use it. We are also ready to use it, and we are capable to use it. We are willing to use it. Okay, we say that Ichha Shakti, we need this one, willing. Okay, next third one is the are we able to utilize it? Okay, are we able to utilize it? Okay, we are capable to utilize it. We are willing to use it, and also we also have a appropriate technology to utilize these resources. For example, petroleum. Okay, see, you only think that you have to imagine that which things are not there, which things are much amount of things are we will get availability of resources is more on the planet Earth that we are not able to utilize, and which things are non-renewable. I told you in previous, before that, non-renewable. It cannot renew again, cannot reproduce in million years. It will take million years to form the resource. So petroleum and all that, like resources we are using much amount of resources we are using which are non-renewable, and which are renewable, those resources we are not using much amount, is it right? Okay, much amount of resources. Okay, I hope you understood. Appropriate technology is there. Okay, fine. And are we willing to use it? Developed resources. Yes, we are willing to use the developed resources. And third one is can we capable to use it? Yes. Are we able to utilize it? Yeah, we able to utilize it. For example, petroleum. Okay, I hope you understood this developed resources example. Okay, fine. Third one is the stock resources. What is the stock resources? See, are we as per the criteria, as per the 4 criteria, availability of technology, appropriate technology is there to utilize this stock resources? No, not is there. See, for the stock resources here, appropriate technology is not there, so that I have a crossed. Okay, no technology. Next, willing to use it? See here, are we willing to use it? Yeah, we are willing to use it, but here technology only is not there. How can we utilize this? How can we willing to use it? It is not possible, no? Yeah. Third one is are we able to utilize it? Crossed. Are we able to utilize? See here, appropriate technology only not is there, then how can you utilize the things? Okay, we do not have any technology and all, then how can you utilize the resources? It is impossible. Okay, not possible. So that it is a crossed. But we are willing to use it, but because of due to appropriate technology is not there, because of that reason we are not utilizing. Okay, fine. Example is a H2O. Example, okay, in the water there are 2 molecules, hydrogen and oxygen. In hydrogen there are 2 molecules, and oxygen 1 is there. See, we do not have appropriate technology to utilize this H2O. Okay, So water has water is a resources. Okay, in water there are two components. One is the hydrogen and oxygen. We do not have that appropriate technology to utilize this resource. I mean H2O. The best example of a stock resources is a H2O. Okay, fine. Reserve. What is the reserve? Okay. As per the criteria, you come to the criteria. As per the criteria, availability of technology to utilize the reserve, to use the reserve resources. Do we have technology? Yeah, we have technology. Okay, I mean we are capable to use. I mean we are good in technology. Okay, we have appropriate technology. Yes. Second criteria, willingness to use. No, we are not willingness to use. We are not willing to utilize this. See, appropriate technology is there, but we do not have willing to use. Why we are not willing to utilize this reserve resources? See, are we able to utilize it? Why? Because we reserved that resources for future purpose. Future purpose we have reserved those resources, so that we are not willing to utilize it. Appropriate technology is there to utilize these resources, but we are not willing to use it because of we have reserved those resources for future purpose, so that we are not willing to use it. For example, water in a water in a dam. Okay, usually you will see, we will reserve the water to generate the electricity. There are hydroelectricity plants in the dams. In some high dams there is no hydroelectricity plants. Okay, yes, we need power and all, no? So that this power and will get through the water. In some dams hydroelectricity plants are there, in some dams there are no, because those water we have reserved for the future purpose. During rainy season, rain may come or may not come, so that we have stored the water for future purpose. That like resources are known as a reserve resources. I will compare both the resources. You have to understand that potential and reserve. See, in potential resources, technology is there. We are willing to use it. Okay, but we are not utilizing it. For example, solar. Here in reserve resources, technology is there, but we are not willing to use it. Because of reason is we have reserved for the future purpose. Example is the water in a dam. Okay, now developed and stock you have to take. I will compare both the resources. Here, availability of technology for developed resources is there. Yeah, appropriate technology is there for the developed resources. Are we willing to utilize it? Okay, we are also willing to utilize this. We are willing to use it. And are we able to utilize it? Yeah, we are capable to use it. What is the example? Petroleum. Is it? Now stock resources. Okay, to utilize the stock resources, is there availability of technology? Appropriate technology is not there. And here, are we willing to utilize it? No. Sorry. Here, yes, I have ticked yes. Okay, yes, we are willing to use it. Okay, and are we able to utilize it? No. Why we not able to utilize the stock resources? Because of appropriate technology only it's not there. And how can we utilize these resources? It is impossible, no? So that, for example, H2O. Okay, I hope you clearly understood these four categories or four classifications of resources of on the basis of status of development. Again I will recall the classification of resources once. On the basis of origin, biotic and abiotic resources, biotic plants and animals, abiotic non-living things, water and air. And second one is on the basis of exhaustibility. I mean, on the basis of exhaustibility, again resources can be classified into two. One is the renewable, second one is the non-renewable. In renewable resources there are for example is water, which resources can be renewed. I mean, in future or reproduce in future, those resources are renewable. For example, water, I told you, evaporation, condensation, cloud and all. That is second one is in in that only second one is the B is the non-renewable, for example petroleum, which is cannot renew itself, that is. And third one is third one is on the basis of ownership. On the basis of ownership, again resources can be classified into 4 groups. One is the individual resources, second one is the community resources, third one is the national resources, fourth one is the international resources, and last resources classification of resources is the on the basis of status of development. In this again 4 criteria, 4 resources. One is the potential, developed, stock, reserve. Okay, as per the criteria, how we are using these all resources in at present and in future, these all we have to learn carefully, and we have to focus more. We have to utilize the resources very, much amount of resources we should not use. For essential is there, then only we have to use the resources. Simply we have to should not use for everything. Okay, it is become a greedy. So that I hope you clearly understood these all classifications of resources and comprehensive definition of resources. These all I hope you clearly understood. Okay, this next next upcoming portion, upcoming that content I will teach you in a next session. Thank you one and all. Okay, fine.
ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೇ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸತ್ಯಂ ವಾಹಿನಿಯ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನದ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಳ್ಳಲು ಸತ್ಯಂ ಟಿವಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ಗೆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಬೆಲ್ ಐಕಾನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ.